everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. Welcome to Auntie Tanya's house. Today we're going to be doing this makeup look. It's my everyday full face. It's very simple. I use a lot of drugstore products. The items that are not drugstore you could easily dupe and find something of comparable quality. And we're going to get started. Thank you for stopping by. The first thing I'm going to do before I start my face is use primer. This is the primer that I use. It's the e.l.f. primer. It's a Power Grip primer. It's a dupe of, I can't remember the name, but it's comparable. When you put this on, you have to wait for it to dry down a bit. So I'm gonna just do one pump like this on my finger, rub it together with my fingertips. I'm gonna place it right here in my T-zone. I don't find that I need primer to go anywhere else on my face because this is the only area of my face where my pores are enlarged and I will secrete oil. So I do it like this, and while I'm rubbing it in, I can feel that it's drying down. Next, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I always do my eyebrows first. It's just a habit. I've tried putting on my eyebrows after. To me, the eyebrow shapes the face and preps to tell me where I need to lay everything down. So if I don't do my eyebrows first, I'm kind of lost a little bit. This is the eyebrow pencil that I use. And this eyebrow pencil is the Maybelline Express Brow. I like this eyebrow pencil because I like this thin tip. This one, it's clicking because it's out. However, because it's my favorite eyebrow pencil, I do have backups. Here's the backup. And that fine tip acts the same way how a pen or a pencil would act when you're writing, and it gives you proper precision. If you are not good at drawing brows, you should start drawing brows on pieces of paper. I have hooded eyes, and when you have hooded eyes, so this is my eyes when my eyes are just resting, and usually when I'm talking, I unconsciously raise my eyebrows. I don't realize that I'm doing it. I like to draw my brows with my resting face. Just looking in my mirror here, I know the start of my brows is going to be right here. So you could put a little dot if you're not sure. The outer corner of my brows are going to end right here. And at the corner of your pupil, where it just so happens to be where my longest lash is going to be right here. And that's going to be my arch. When you start drawing, I shave the ends of my brows because I want to be able to have more eyelid space, because as you can see, if I follow my natural brow like this, I barely have any eyelid space. But when I put my arch higher, I have more opportunities to draw more. So I have my first line, and I am going to turn it down right here. So it ends here, arches here, beginning is here. Then I'm going to draw a parallel line to the bottom line, and you could make this as thick as you want or as thin as you want. It's easy to start off with a thinner brow and thicken it as you go along. And once it gets here, I'm going to connect the end like that to make a nice thin arch. If you watch anime, you would recognize this as the Sailor Moon brows. And from here, I am going to fill this in. When I get to the front, the pressure is lighter because it's also going to be blended out right here. And when you apply lighter pressure, you will get less color payoff, which is the same thing as when you draw brows. So if you're really good at drawing cartoons or drawing brows, it's the same technique, just doing it on your real face. I'm going to erase this sharp point here because I like a softer brow. I don't like angles in my brow. I prefer either a straight brow, a really straight brow, or angled brow. So now I'm gonna rest my face. I don't clean the top of my brow. So what I like to do is go in with that pencil and just clean up the line, because I only clean up the bottom of my brow. Oh, look at this, like this is my normal brow bone right here. But look at where my new brow bone is, and I have all this eyelid real estate. I'm going to do the same thing for this brow. Uh-oh. It's okay if you make a little, your hand slip a little. That's what the concealer is for. And this is also why I like doing my brows first, because if I put my base on, what will happen if I make a mistake is then it's gonna look muddy from me wiping it or blending it on my skin. So it's just easier for me to do it first. It may not look exactly alike, but by the time I put the concealer on the bottom, it will fall in line as long as the top of the brows look the same, the light color. I can't see it because it's too small, but it's the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. And with this concealer, like so, I also have this Morphe angle brush. And as you can see, it's very thin. It is the M165. I'm gonna just dip it into here like this and get some product on the brush, and I'm gonna use that to clean up my brows. I'm looking at this. I don't think I picked up enough product. Let me go back in. There you go. Okay. So from here, I'm gonna tilt my head upwards. And then I'm gonna start outlining this brow. I'm gonna bring this down because the concealer serves two purposes. One, it's gonna clean up the brows, and then it's gonna highlight my brow bone simultaneously. And that's the first brow cleaned up. Now we're gonna clean up the second brow. I'm gonna load up my brush again with concealer. And with this eyebrow, we're fixing the mistakes that we made because as you can see, it's nice and clean. So from here, we're just gonna do the same process, except with here, we're gonna create the shape, right? Like that. So I'm gonna take a look at the shape. From what I'm seeing, the other brow, the tail is a little thinner. So I'm also going to make this tail thin as well. And I'm gonna correct it underneath and drag that down right here. And I'm also going to drag it down right here. So then, that's what the brows are looking like. To blend out the concealer, because I did not use that much product, but I still want to blend it out. I want a smooth area. I'm going to use, this is a Morphe M173 brush. Right? It's like, this is a concealer brush that you could use under your eye. So I'm just gonna blend that out, blend the product out, thin it out. Make sure that you don't have any, you don't want thick viscosity of a product on your face, because it's not gonna dry properly. You need it to dry, right? So this is the eyebrow. Our primer is tacky. Today, I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Halo Glow filter. Because I have good skin and I don't really need that much full coverage, I'm only going to apply this. And this is, it has like a very dewy look to it. And as you age, you like your skin looking a bit dewy. And if you're young and you're going to school, you know, unless you're going to an event, you really don't need that much coverage all day. You could just use this. I'm gonna take a foundation brush. This foundation brush, you can see how it's dense. This is a Fenty Beauty foundation brush. Of course, Real Techniques is a good option if you like, where's my mirror? Real Techniques is a good option. Or Morphe, they sell Morphe at Ulta. It's a good, affordable brush set. So I'm just gonna blend it, and you can see that glow that it gave my skin. I'm just gonna blend it, and I'm also gonna put some on my nose. Right here, because that's where I have a bit of redness. And I'll blend the edge. Because, as you're gonna see, why I don't need it on my forehead, I'm gonna put product there. So I don't need that much product on my forehead. I'm gonna zoom out a bit so you can see more of my base. And placement, you have to learn your face. Placement is very important. I put this on the top of my cheeks because I don't want my face to look like it's drooping down. When I was younger, we used to put contour right here. And for some people, that may work. But you see, we would do this and put it right there. That does not work for my face type. So I'm going to put that contour, as you can see, right there. And now I'm going to go in with, this is a e.l.f. brush. And this is the e.l.f. Airbrush Blender. That contour was also from e.l.f. Oh, should I be telling you the shades? So this it's a bronzer and contour. Auntie's going to put it in the caption because I can't see. And I'm not joking. I can't see that small font. But I am going to lightly pounce, right? I'm going to lightly pounce the contour into my cheek like that. Because I am going to layer my contour with blush and then highlighter. Right? So now that I've contoured, instead of it being just a muddy line right here, actually that's done me a better service because now it looks like my face is lifted. My face is lifted. And as you get older, you want your face to look lifted. Right? So I'm also going to contour my forehead. And sometimes less is more. Right? A lot of times people put like, unless you're going out at nighttime or you're going to be under heavy photography, you don't need that much makeup on. This is perfect for daylight photography. After the contour, we are going to go back with that concealer that we put, our e.l.f. concealer that we put under our eyebrows and right here, because I have dark circles. As you can see, I need to cover that up, right? I need to cover that up. What I do, a nice generous amount like this, like that. I do. Now I need the mirror for this because it's important. Need a straight line right there, like that. This is to give me a button nose to make my nose lifted. And this is to highlight down the center. We're gonna come back to that, but right now that's how I like to apply it. I like to apply it like this, and just a dot right there. Just a dot. From here, I'm going to take a dome brush, a large dome brush, not too large. See, that's the size of it. This is the Morphe M536. We're gonna blend out the top of our mouth. This, if you have a mustache, you can thermoplane, because if you have hair on your face, the concealer is going to make them very visible. And when you don't dermaplane your face, the hair does not grow back thicker. All right, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna just lightly pounce. I'm gonna lightly pounce at the tip of my nose. I'm gonna take the brush and bring that concealer down the center. And then I'm going to hold my brush upside down because I want it highlighted. And you can see now that my eyebrow, not my eyebrow, you can see that my forehead is covered in contour and concealer, which is why I didn't need any base on there. I didn't need any foundation, anything under there. All right. Now I've let the eyes sit last because I like when it get a little tacky, so it's not as watery. And with medium pressure, because you want to be gentle under your eyes, because that's what signs of aging. You want to go ahead and blend that out. You want to blend that out like that. If you want, you can go back in, and usually I do, with the bronzer to blend this. But I like holding my mirror up and looking up at my mirror, and so I could get that concealer. And it's okay if you make funny faces when you're doing your makeup. It can't be helped. So now your concealer is on. I'm going to go back now with my contour brush, and I'm going to blend the sides. Blend the sides, right? So there aren't any lines of demarcation. Blend the sides. From here, now I'm going to contour my nose. So to contour my nose is a specific shape that I do, because I do not have a straight nose that is lifted, right? So I am going to contour the bottom of my nose like this to create a shadow right here at the tip of my nose. I'm going to put two lines right here, one, and I'm going to put another line right here, two. This is why I put the concealer, which is serving as a highlight, on my nose first. So this is how I'm going to lay it down. Then I'm going to use a fluffy brush. If you want it to have precision, you could use a straight brush, but I'm going to use a fluffy brush because I like to blend out the edges, and I can also get the shape that I want with this fluffy brush. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to blend out the bottom of my nose like this. I'm going to diffuse that color like this. Then I am going to use it and create that line on top, because I don't want a harsh line. I don't want a harsh line, so I'm going to do that. Let me zoom in. From here, what I like to draw is an upside down triangle shape. I'm going to take the edge of my brush going to bring it down, thinning it out. It's going to get thinner as it gets to the high point that I've created, which is the button. Thin it out, thin it out. I'm being very gentle here, and I'm also connecting the beginning of my brows to this contour, which is essentially I'm making shadows on my face to give the illusion that I actually have a nose bridge, which I don't. I'm going to blend the sides, and I'm going to blend it into my arch like that. I'm going to blend it into my arch and down the side of my nose. And that's the nose shape, right? I now have a highlighted center and a button on my nose that was not there before. From here, I am going to use my second concealer. I have two concealers. So this is the concealer that I use, which is my concealer shade. And this concealer, you should be able to see the difference. It's about 2 shades lighter than my regular concealer. It's a porcelain color because this is my brightening concealer. So I am now going to take my brightening concealer, and I don't use too much of this. If I'm going out at night and I want a really bright under eye, I would use more of the brightening concealer, but I don't use too much of the brightening concealer. One, because I don't like how it looks like in flash. And I just don't think that I need that much brightening, depending on the makeup look and if I feel that it requires heavy makeup. So the more glam, the more brightening concealer I would use. But this is my everyday makeup. I'm then going to take this brush. This brush is an angled concealer brush. This is from Sephora, the Pro Concealer 71. And I'm going to now take this and I am going to blend right here at the beginning of my eye. Now, as you can see, that is getting brighter. If I was to take this brightening concealer and pull it all the way up out there, it would look as if I didn't blend my concealer properly. But because I'm blending it into a concealer that actually matches my skin, it doesn't look that harsh. What I like to do with concealer, I like putting concealer right here, almost as like an eyeshadow base. And why I like this brush, I like to turn it like this so it could fit in the inner corner of my eye. And I like to do this with it right here. Right? So now my inner eye corner is brightened now. I'm gonna go back in with whatever little product is left on the contour brush to marry the edges, but I've opened, you can see this inner eye corner is open and this is not, because this concealer is my skin concealer and matching. It's not a highlighting concealer. This concealer has highlighted and you can see that. I'm just gonna go back and do this eye as well. I like looking down and making this face so it could stretch out the skin. Okay. From here, I'm going to take the contour brush that I use for my nose contour, and I'm going to go back over my nose contour. Like so. So my base is on. It's time to set it with powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I am just going to tap, 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 tap. This is from the beauty supply store. I am going to circle into the jar lid and tap off the excess. Some people, they like tapping on the back of their hair, but I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna stretch my face like this. I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna powder, and I'm also gonna take this powder and bring it down the side of my nose. Bring it down the side of my nose, bring it across my brow. Like that. Alright, so the under eye, and I've actually set my nose contour. I am gonna go back in the lid, the top of my mouth, my chin, my forehead, and I'm pressing it in because I'm not baking. I don't really bake. I'm gonna set right here. And I am gonna set right here. Because remember, we added product to that side of the face, and you wanna set anywhere that you put liquid on, you wanna set it with a powder. It's a Fenty bronzer brush. I love how it's shaped like I feel like it fits like perfectly into the grooves and crevices of my face. I'm gonna use this CoverGirl bronzer, 390 Sunset Glitz. I dip it in here, knock off the excess, and I'm gonna plant it right there. See, it fits so pretty. Fits so beautiful, like it was made for my face. And then with the excess, I'm just gonna goes right into that forehead. From here, I am gonna take this big fluffy brush. I think it's an It Cosmetics brush from Ulta. I got it a long time ago. I'm just gonna brush off any excess translucent powder that's on my face. Here we're gonna do blushes. I like this tiny because I find when I use a large blush brush that it kind of like the blush gets, like when I use one of these big blush brushes, the blush gets away from me. So I like using a tiny blush brush so then I can control exactly where I want, as opposed to this. See, like it just too much. This is from the beauty supply store. I don't know, here, I'm gonna do this. Take a good look at it. This is a Fenty blush. It is called Summertime Wine 4. And it looks like this. As you can see, based on my complexion, I cannot go heavy-handed with this. And the second blush that I'm using is number 6 Flirted Up Colorful Blush. It's a Sephora brand. And that's, when I want a more softer look, I like using this blush. But today, I'm going to use both of them. I tried the other day because this blush has a bit of shimmer in it, and I like how they look on top of each other very lightly. Just gonna see how light, and watch how much color comes off as light as I dip that brush in it. And I mean light. I did very like light pats. I'm going to start closer to where the contour is so the blush doesn't get away from me. Because sometimes what happens is if you dip your brush into the blush and lay it straight on your skin, the spot that you laid it straight into will be the darkest. I tap my brush into it again. And I'm picking up the color little by little so I could build it up. And I'm not going to take it too high. But as you can see, it has like a shimmer to the blush. Very pretty. I'm now going to tap it, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. That's the first layer of blush. This one, because this one shows us up, like you have to like, this one I'm going to go in because you got to really like get in there. I'm going to place it high, very high, because I want contour, first blush, last blush, all the way, the lighter blush all the way on the top. I want it high. I want it to have a gradient effect, and that's how that looks. So this is it with just one blush. This is it with two blushes. I'm gonna go back, stab it up, stab. All right, and then I am going to layer that blush, layer it higher. Lately, I've been using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in shade Precious Metals. This one right here. It reminds me of the Becca Cosmetics highlighter. It's tiny. I think it's cosmetics. This is what it looks like. You could take a screenshot and put it in Google Images, and you'll probably find it. I like it because I also had to learn that I had to get brushes that worked for the size of my face. So not only about how you apply your makeup, but making sure the tools that you're using is fit for your face, because not all concealer brushes are like one size fits all. Like foundation brushes, yes, because you're just applying it on your face, but under your eye, to contour your nose, you need to get products that's unique to the size of your face. And because like I don't have that much face, right? I need a tiny highlighter brush. I need a brush that's tiny for me to use. And so we have the face on, and you can see the eyes are looking a little bare. Something is missing. So I am going to use this cool tone brown and this deep cool tone brown right here. This is a fluffy eyeshadow brush, also from the this brand is Ruby Kisses, so the purple brushes are Ruby Kisses. I'm gonna dip it into my eyeshadow palette and right here. With my fluffy contour brush or eyeshadow brush, I'm going to blend right here. Blend, blend, blend. And we have that. So pretty, right? You see now, like the face before kind of was like, because, you know, just the blush, nothing on the eyes. The eyes look very monochromatic. And now it's like, we're working with something. Like, you know what you're doing. It's giving, you know what you're doing once you put the eyeshadow on. So I am going to blend, blend, blend. While I'm looking down, blend, 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 blend. What I like about this big brush, because I'm not really doing a precision look, it blends it really easy for me. And I'm just going to take a little bit, whatever's left over, because I didn't want the actual color, whatever left over, and go down the side of my nose. Right there, like so, like that. Right? My camera's overheating again. But that looks nice just like that. It's also a Morphe brush. And it's the Morphe M441. So we're going to pick up some color on the Morphe brush. Tap it off. Start right here. We're going to just put that down so we can see how much color we're working with. And blend it. And this is why making a new brow bone for me works well, because then I have space to do this. Whereas my natural brow bone, I would have had space, but not with the liberties that shaving off the tail of my eyebrows gives me. after doing this, this is the color. It's a Maybelline, and the sticker is going from the back, so, but it's a bone color. Very pretty. I'm gonna go right here. See how there's a line of demarcation? I want to get that line out right there. We don't want any lines. No harsh lines. No locked doors. No locked doors. No harsh lines. Okay? See the difference between there? That's blended, not blended. Let's blend this side. Let's blend this side. Let's blend that harsh line out. We want to blend this harsh line out. No harsh lines. Okay, that's all blended out. Two nice blended out brows. I'm also going to take this color and apply it as my lid color, because that is why I like to put the concealer on my lid from the beginning, because see, it serves as a nice base to deposit this color. Look at that. Right there. There's a method to my madness. I am also going to deposit color right here. Right here. Right there. So it serves as my brow bone color and my eyeshadow color. And that's my eyes. I am now going to take, where's my lash brushes? When you get individual lashes done, you have to comb them out. Comb on my lashes. Like so, like that. This is taupe. It's an eye pencil from NYX. This is what it looks like when it's new. Anyway, so this is how I do my lips. I have a double lip line, right? As you can see, if I do my lips and I put the line on the inside, it's gonna have a white line out here. And like, you could just see how like this side of my mouth is not the same as this side of my mouth. I don't have a symmetrical face, nor do I have symmetrical facial features. To start off, I'm going to do a wide smile like this. And I find this gives my lips a nice base to work off of. I'm going to draw with the tops of my lips. Right? That's my lips. It's important that you find your natural lip liner pencil, right? That will blend even the most craziest color. If you could find your natural lip pencils, for me is taupe. Fun fact, matches my eyebrows, right? So this color on my lip is what my natural eyebrows are. This is the color of my natural eyebrows. But as you can see, this brown gives it a little bit more definition, which is why I choose to do that. But if you look at my crease color, look at my lip color, don't they match? They match. That's how you want your make. That's how you get your makeup to look. That's how you get your makeup to look cohesive, by matching. Match your contour with your lip shade, your crease color. Your makeup will look cohesive. A lot of the times when makeup does not look good is because it doesn't look like the colors go together. You have one color on your lips, a different color on your eyebrows, a different color on your contour. You're using bronzer, an orangey bronzer, instead of using a cool tone. Like whatever if you want to know what color your bronzer or your contour is, do this to your skin. Find the color of the shadow on your skin. See that? When I do a shadow on my skin, because I'm not darker complected, it's not going to give me a dark brown. It's going to give me like a grayish beige. What's this? A grayish beige. That's what my skin looks like when I put like a hand. So if you want to know what your contour shade is, put a hand, create a shadow on your face. That's the color of your contour. And that will be that will be a nice color for your lips. This is Honey Love by MAC. I need to exfoliate my lips. Too late. Ugh, okay. Should have did it in the shower. Honey Love by MAC. On top of Honey Love by MAC, we're going to do Turkish Delight. And we're going to do it right here. In that first lip line, and I'm going to go over it. Where's my eyeliner? Well, my lip liner eyeliner. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. And I'm gonna go over this because I feel like I could like so. Let's zoom out now. From here, this is the Stay All Night Blue Light Micro Set and Mist Long Lasting by e.l.f. Okay, let's take a look. Let's get close up, right? I'm gonna close my eyes for this, but you see the skin. Let's zoom in on it. Let's zoom. This is what my skin looks like before, just the powdering. Say 12 to 16. This drenches you. So this is it. This is the makeup look. In reality, this takes me 20 minutes to do. I do know my face, so I can move a little quicker when I'm not recording, but this takes 20 minutes. It's a nice quick face that you can do. It's good for a party. I wear this to work. You could switch up the eyeshadow. You could keep the blush every day. You could switch up the eyeshadow, switch up the lips. But a uniform of makeup makes it easier for you to get ready. So thank you for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, like, share it. And I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you for coming to Auntie's house.